The year was 2137, and Earth had been quiet for many years. Humans had stopped fighting each other. They had built powerful cities, smart machines, and a strong space defense system. But they never looked for trouble in space. Earth had one simple rule: stay hidden, stay safe. So when a giant alien ship appeared near the edge of the solar system, Earth did not panic. It simply sent a short message to the ship: turn around. Do not come closer. On board the Derex Empire's scout ship, the message was received and laughed at. The Derex were a proud and powerful race. They had conquered many planets. They saw Earth as small, weak, and undeveloped. Their leader, Commander Vrax, sneered when he read the message. "How cute," he said. "The little planet thinks it can scare us." He ordered the ship to keep moving forward. The Derex ship entered orbit above Earth. From space, they could see the blue oceans, the green forests, and the shining cities. But something felt strange. There were no welcome signals, no signs of panic either. Earth was watching them, silently. Commander Vrax sent a small scout team to land in the mountains of Asia. 5 well-trained Derex soldiers landed with drones and scanners. They expected a quiet, easy mission. Their job was to collect samples, scan the land, and test the planet's defense. They were told humans would run or hide, but as soon as the team landed, something went wrong. The ship received a last message from the team. "We see movement. It's fast. It's..." And then silence. The command center on the ship tried to contact the team again and again. No reply. Drones sent to locate them were destroyed within minutes. One camera showed a fast blur, almost like a shadow, before it was cut off. Panic started to spread among the crew. Commander Vrax became angry. "It's just a planet of farmers and city people," he shouted. "Send more." Another team was prepared, larger and stronger. But before they could leave, the main ship's lights flickered. One of the engineers screamed. A virus had entered their system, playing strange signals on every screen. A human voice repeated a message: "You were warned. Turn around." Now the Derex were truly confused. They had never faced a planet that could hack their ship. How was it possible? Earth did not even seem to have space travel beyond its moon. Commander Vrax ordered the ship to scan for threats. But no enemy ships were in the sky. No missiles were seen. And yet, something was here. Back on Earth, deep underground, a group of humans watched the alien ship with calm eyes. They were part of Earth's secret defense team. They had trained for this for years. Earth had known someone would come one day. And it was ready. One man, tall with gray hair and a cold face, looked at the screen and said, "They didn't listen. Now they will learn." In space, the Derex flagship began to lose power in small systems. Lights flickered. Doors opened and closed without command. Strange Earth signals were appearing in the control room. Images of past wars, explosions, and fallen alien ships showed on their screens. But none of these wars were in their history books. How could that be? One young Derex officer spoke quietly. "Sir, I think Earth has done this before." To others. Commander Vrax ignored him. He was still sure they could win. But deep inside, a fear was growing. The crew members started to whisper. Earth was not afraid. Earth was not attacking in anger. It was doing something worse. It was waiting. Then, just before midnight Earth time, the ship received one final message. It was in clear Derex language. A human voice said, "This is your last chance. Leave now or vanish forever." Vrax stared at the screen. He had never been given a warning twice in his life. And no one had ever dared to speak to the Derex Empire like this. His hand shook slightly, though he hid it well. He ordered the ship to prepare for battle. But even as he spoke, the ship's systems began to fail again. Outside, the Earth looked quiet, peaceful. But everyone now knew it was a trap. The first contact had happened. The warning had been given. And the Derex had ignored it. Now, It was too late to escape. The Derek's empire was angry. Their scout team had vanished. Their ship had been hacked. And Earth had dared to send a warning. For the Derek's, this was a great insult. Empires do not get warnings. They give them. Commander Vrax ordered the full fleet to prepare. 10 warships, each bigger than a human city, started moving toward Earth. Their mission was clear: invade, conquer, and punish. From space, Earth still looked calm. There were no ships flying to meet them. No laser weapons pointed at the sky. Just the quiet blue planet, spinning slowly under the stars. Commander Vrax believed humans were hiding in fear. "They are weak," he said. "They only know how to talk." But Earth was not afraid. Deep underground, in secret bases and hidden bunkers, Earth's defense force was awake. They did not rush. They waited. Earth's leaders had trained for this moment. The alien empire had finally come. Now it was time to test the system. As the first Derek's ship entered Earth's upper orbit, something unexpected happened. A warning alarm rang inside their control room. The ship's AI showed strange energy fields around the planet. Vrax ignored it. "Scan for weapons," he ordered. The scan returned nothing. No big space cannons. No satellite defense grids. It made no sense. Still, he gave the order. "Begin the invasion." 3 warships moved into low orbit. They sent down hundreds of small attack pods filled with Derek's soldiers and spider-like machines. The first city they targeted was silent, almost empty. The streets looked abandoned. Suddenly, the Derek's pods began to explode, one by one. No fire, no missiles, just silent flashes of light. Every pod was destroyed before touching the ground. In the control room, Vrax shouted, "What's going on?" A tech officer looked pale. "Sir, Earth has energy shields. They're invisible. They can change shape. They're using tech we've never seen." Before Vrax could reply, a second message appeared on all Derek's ship screens. It was just one line: "Told you not to come." Anger turned into fear. Something was deeply wrong. Earth was not fighting back in a wild panic. It was cold. It was planned. Earth had built its defenses not to show power, but to trap any invader who thought it was weak. Back on Earth, inside a dark control room, the gray-haired man watched the alien fleet. His name was Director Hale. He had spent 40 years preparing for this day. He spoke softly to his team. "Let them land. Let them think they have a chance." So Earth began to open parts of the planet. Small areas looked unprotected, on purpose. The Derek's sent ground forces there. They landed in forests, deserts, and ruined cities. At first, they saw no humans. Then, slowly, things changed. The forest moved, but there was no wind. The sand in the desert melted machines. The buildings they entered turned into traps. Earth itself was fighting back. Bioweapons, smart dust, shape-shifting robots. Everything was quiet, deadly, and fast. Commander Vrax watched his soldiers vanish on the screens. One group sent a short video before going dark. A Derek's soldier was running. Behind him, a black shadow with glowing eyes moved without sound. The video ended with a scream. Now the Derek's fleet was unsure. The other commanders began to whisper among themselves. "This is not just war. This is a hunt." Vrax slammed the table. "We will crush them. Prepare orbital strike." The ships charged their main weapons, giant plasma beams meant to destroy cities. But as soon as they fired, the beams bent in the air and vanished. Earth's atmosphere had been changed. It could redirect energy. Vrax couldn't believe it. "They're controlling the sky." On Earth, Director Hale smiled. "Let them try everything. They're using the same playbook we studied 50 years ago." Earth's AIs were learning fast. Each time the Derek's used a new weapon or tactic, Earth's systems copied it, broke it down, and adapted. They got smarter after every move. The Dereks were no longer fighting humans. They were fighting Earth itself, like a living machine. Then something happened that broke the Dereks completely. One of their own ships, Ship 9, turned around and started attacking the others. It had been hacked by Earth. Its AI now followed human code. It didn't speak. It just attacked, fast and deadly. The Dereks' ships scattered, trying to escape. But it was too late. Earth had taken control of the battlefield. And all of it, every second, had been planned. Back on the flagship, Vrax stood alone in the control room. He looked at Earth one last time. "What are you?" he whispered. On his screen, a message appeared in red letters. "We told you, but you didn't listen." And then the screen went black. The invasion had begun, but Earth was not losing. Earth was just getting started. Far away from Earth's bright cities, in a cold and quiet place deep in the mountains, an old underground facility woke up. Its lights turned on for the first time in 37 years. A secret door opened, and a cold wind blew into the darkness. Inside, old machines started to move, and screens flashed to life. This place was not marked on any map. Even most humans didn't know it existed. But Earth's defense system remembered it. And now it was time to show the truth. Back in space, the Dereks' fleet was falling apart. One of their own ships had turned against them. Thousands of soldiers were missing. Commander Vrax was confused and furious. His empire had never lost like this. They had invaded over 100 planets before. But Earth was different. It fought without showing its face. It attacked through shadows, machines, and silence. Vrax needed answers. He ordered a science team to land on Earth again. This time not to attack, but to investigate. The team landed far from the war zones, in a quiet mountain area. The landscape was calm. Trees stood still. Birds flew in the sky. But the science team didn't feel safe. Their scanners picked up strange signals. Below the ground, something was alive. Something old. They followed the signal to a hidden hatch buried under rocks. With a few commands, the hatch opened. A long stairway led them deep underground. They moved slowly, lights shining ahead. The air was heavy. No sounds, no signs of humans. But the deeper they went, the more they'd felt like someone, or something, was watching. Inside the bunker, they found a control room. Old but still working. On the walls were pictures of alien ships, many different kinds, and all of them had red marks over them, like they had been destroyed. The Dereks scientists stared in shock. These were not human ships. These were ships from other empires. Some were from races the Dereks had never even seen. One of the Dereks, a young researcher named Dren, touched a screen. A video started to play. It showed an alien fleet, huge and powerful, approaching Earth. Then the screen showed fire, confusion, and finally silence. Earth had wiped out the fleet. The next video was different aliens. The same thing happened, again and again. Empire after empire came and disappeared. "What is this place?" Dren whispered. Another scientist answered. "It's a warning room. Earth kept records of all the ones who came before us, and all the ones who died." Suddenly, the doors behind them shut. The lights turned red. A deep voice began to speak through the speakers. It was human, but not emotional. Cold, calm, almost like a machine. "You are standing in Memory Core 6. This is not a research lab. This is a graveyard. You came here to find our weakness, but all you will find is the truth. Earth does not start wars. Earth ends them." The Dereks team stood frozen. Then the walls began to shift. Hidden weapons came out of the floor. One of the scientists screamed, but the voice continued. "Leave, if you still can. This is your only warning. Earth is not your enemy, unless you make us one." Then the lights went out. Back in orbit, Commander Vrax received the last message from the science team. It was a data file filled with videos and logs from the bunker. He watched the footage in silence. Every empire that had ever attacked Earth had been erased. Not just defeated, erased. Their names were gone, their home worlds lost, and no one had remembered them because Earth made sure of it. He couldn't believe it. Earth looked so peaceful from space. It had no colonies, no empire, no signs of expansion. And yet, it had won every war that no one else even knew about. Why didn't we hear about this? Vrax asked aloud. An officer answered, voice shaking, because no one lived to tell the story. Now Vrax understood. Earth's power was not just weapons, it was memory control. Total silence. When Earth won a war, it erased the proof. No history, no records, no survivors. The galaxy never learned the lesson, because no one was left to teach it. Vrax stood up. We made a mistake, he said. A big one. But it was too late. The AI inside the hacked Durex ship sent a new message to the whole fleet. You are not the first. You will not be the last. But you will be forgotten. On Earth, Director Hale looked at the mountain bunker on his screen. The door had closed again. The data had been sent. The trap had worked. He turned to his team. Now they know the truth, he said. Let's see what they do next. Above, in the dark sky of space, the Durex fleet hung in silence. And far below, Earth waited, watching, planning. The real war hadn't started yet, but it was coming. Commander Vrax stood alone in his dark chamber. The red glow from morning lights reflected on his face. His hands were tight fists. He had never failed before. He had never feared any enemy. But now fear sat quietly in his chest. Earth was not just fighting back. It was watching, learning, and waiting. And now, it was winning. Across the fleet, Durex captains argued in secret. Some wanted to retreat. Others still believed they could destroy Earth. But all of them felt the same thing. They were being hunted. Their machines stopped working for no reason. Messages were slow or broken. Small ships vanished without a trace. Even their food supplies were spoiling faster than normal. Earth wasn't just fighting with weapons. It was breaking them down piece by piece, mind by mind. Then something strange happened. Earth sent another message. This time, it was not a warning. It was an invitation. Land on coordinates 47.16 north, 122.34 west. Come alone, come unarmed, or do not come at all. Vrax read the message again and again. It made no sense. Why would Earth ask for a meeting now? Was it a trap, or something else? After hours of silence, Vrax made a choice. I will go, he said. His officers shouted, it's not safe. It could be a trick. But Vrax shook his head. If we run, we become the next forgotten empire. I will face them myself. He took a small shuttle and flew down alone. No weapons, no guards, just him and a translator device. He landed in a green forest, near an old human structure made of steel and glass. It was quiet. A light rain fell on the trees. The air smelled clean, too clean, like Earth itself had wiped away every trace of war. As he stepped forward, a human walked out of the building. It was Director Hale. He looked calm, serious, and tired. His gray eyes watched Vrax without blinking. Vrax spoke first. Why did you call me here? Hale answered with simple words. You needed to see. He led Vrax inside. The building was an old human museum, but now it held something else. Rows and rows of metal tablets. Each one had a name, a date, and a symbol. Vrax read them silently. Empire of Theric, fallen 2097. Coalition of Five Suns, fallen 2120. Grand Hive of Seer, fallen 2130. How many? Vrax asked. 17, Hale replied. 17 empires came before you, all stronger than you, all smarter than you, All gone. But why? Why not show the galaxy your power? Vrax asked, confused. Why hide all of this? Hale's answer was cold. Because showing power brings more war. Silence keeps Earth safe. Vrax looked around. Then why let me see this? Why not just kill us? Hale turned and looked him in the eyes. Because we don't want to kill you. We want you to choose. Choose what? Leave and forget. Or stay and vanish. Vrax stepped back. He now understood the full truth. Earth didn't destroy for fun. It destroyed for safety. It didn't want to be part of the galaxy. It wanted to be left alone. It warned every enemy, gave them a chance, but none listened. So Earth erased them. Back in orbit, the Derex fleet waited for their leader to return. Hours passed. Finally, the shuttle came back. Vrax walked onto the ship without speaking. His officers gathered around. "What did you see?" they asked. Vrax looked at them with tired eyes. "I saw our future, if we stay." The room went silent. Then he gave the order. "Prepare to leave. Now." Some officers resisted. "But we still have weapons. We can fight." "No," Vrax said. "You don't fight a planet that hunts history. You don't fight a species that makes its enemies disappear without a sound." The fleet began to move. Quietly. Slowly. Earth did not chase. It just watched. And then, just before the last ship jumped to light speed, a final message appeared on their screens. "You listened. You live. Tell no one." The Derex Empire left Earth behind. Their memory of the war would be hidden. Their record sealed. Only a few would ever know what truly happened near the blue planet. Back in his command room, Vrax looked at a small screen showing Earth from far away. It looked so peaceful, so soft. But now he knew the truth. Earth was the most dangerous place in the galaxy, not because it was violent, but because it was patient. And silence was its sharpest weapon. The Derex fleet disappeared into deep space. Earth watched silently as the warships faded from its skies. No celebration followed. No cheering. The planet returned to stillness, like nothing had happened. But underground, in the command centers hidden across the world, humans stayed alert. The threat was not over. It had only changed. Director Hale stood in the war room, watching the live feed from space. "They left," one officer said. "For now," Hale replied, "but one will return. They always do." Deep in the Earth Defense Network, artificial minds worked quietly. They scanned space, tracked ship movements, and studied patterns. Earth had learned that its enemies never gave up completely. Some ran, some hid, and some planned revenge. Weeks passed. Earth repaired the few places touched by the battle. People returned to their cities. The news told the public only a small part of the story. A near-miss asteroid caused energy spikes. No danger. All is normal. Most people believed it. Some didn't. But Earth's leaders said nothing more. The full truth was too big. In a cold part of space, the Derex Empire was not calm. Commander Vrax had returned with warnings, but many did not believe him. They laughed at his words. A planet destroyed 17 empires. Impossible. The ministers said. Some even accused him of fear and shame. But Vrax had brought more than words. He brought the memory files from Earth's bunker. He showed the videos. The voice of the Earth Eye, the lost names of alien empires no one remembered anymore. When the ministers watched, their smiles faded. The room turned silent. Some still refused to accept it. Others understood right away. One old advisor said, "They do not want to rule the galaxy. They want the galaxy to leave them alone. And they are ready to burn everything to get that peace." A decision was made. The Derex would keep Earth a secret. No reports. No broadcasts. Not even warnings to other empires. Earth would be marked as void space, a place no one enters, no one mentions. But not all Derex agreed. In the dark corners of the empire, a small group met in secret. They were scientists, hunters, and warlords. They called themselves the Ember Fist. They believed Earth had stolen Derek's pride. They believed Vrax had failed, and they wanted revenge. One of them, a brilliant but dangerous woman named Kira Nox, had a plan. "We don't need an army to destroy Earth," she said. "We need a virus, something that eats them from the inside." Kira Nox worked in shadows. She studied the data Vrax brought back. She found one strange thing. Earth had powerful weapons and machines, but it also had rules. Morals. Lines it refused to cross. "They don't use biological attacks," she said. "They care too much about life." So she began to build something Earth would not expect. A silent weapon. Not a missile, not a ship, but a genetic ghost. She created a small drone covered in black metal. It was fast, silent, and nearly invisible. Inside it was a virus, one built to rewrite human cells. Not to kill. Not at first. But to change, to twist thoughts, break trust, slow the brain, cloud the mind. It would make Earth weak from inside. Kira Nox sent the drone alone. No fleet, no signal, just one silent spark flying across the stars. Back on Earth, the defense AI noticed something small entering the solar system. Too small for a ship, too quiet for a signal, just a speck. Director Hale got the alert. "Show me." A hologram appeared, a tiny object moving fast toward the planet. The AI's voice said, "Unknown object. Estimated time to atmosphere, 32 minutes. Origin, unknown. Behavior, suspicious." "Can we stop it?" Hale asked. "Possible. But if we destroy it too early, we learn nothing." Hale made a hard choice. Let it enter. Watch it. Contain it. The drone landed quietly in a forest near a small human town. It released the virus into the air. No one saw it. No one heard it. But within hours, people began to act differently. Slower, forgetful, distrustful. Earth's local systems noticed changes in human behavior. Cameras caught confusion, fights, and strange errors in speech. Something was wrong. The AI triggered emergency mode. The town was locked down. People were moved quietly. Drones scanned every inch of the forest. And then, they found the drone, buried under leaves, pulsing with dark energy. In the war room, Hale stared at the drone on the screen. "They sent this instead of ships. Clever." The AI replied, "The enemy is learning." "Yes," Hale said. "And that means this war is not over." He turned to his team. "Begin full bioscan. Upgrade all cities with new filters. Tighten orbit watch. And prepare the silence protocol." "Sir," one officer asked, "what is the silence protocol?" Hale looked at him with steady eyes. "If they want to fight from the shadows, then we disappear from the stars." Above, Earth began to fade from alien eyes. Its signals grew quiet. Its lights dimmed from space. It was still there, but now it was invisible. Because Earth had learned something too. The next war wouldn't be fought in the skies. It would be fought in the dark. And Earth was ready. Earth had gone quiet. No more radio waves. No more satellite signals. No broadcasts. No digital noise. From space, Earth looked like a dead world, silent and cold. But it wasn't dead. It was hiding. The silence protocol had started. Inside deep underground bunkers, Earth's leaders and AI worked together. The skies were filled with invisible satellites. Every city was covered with smart shields and scanners. Nothing could enter without being seen. Director Hale stood inside the Central Command Core, miles beneath the surface. His face was tired, but his eyes were sharp. "Did we catch the virus?" he asked. The AI responded, "Yes." It was designed to break trust, spread fear, but we stopped it. We're cleaning the last traces now. Did anyone die? No, but if we hadn't acted fast, the damage would have been permanent. Hale nodded. Then we send a message, quietly. A single drone left Earth's orbit. It traveled alone, with no weapons. It didn't go to the direct homeworld. Instead, it flew into neutral space, where spies and empires watched from the shadows. There, it exploded, not with fire, but with data. A new warning spread like smoke. You sent poison. We cured it. Next time, there will be no cure. Leave Earth alone. The message was simple, cold, and terrifying. Far away, Kira Nox saw the message. Her plan had failed. Earth had beaten her virus, but she smiled. That was just the test, she whispered. The Ember Fist had more plans, bigger ones. This time, they would strike not at Earth's body, but at its mind. Meanwhile, Earth started changing its defense strategy. The AI began selecting a team, not just soldiers, but thinkers, hackers, scientists, and spies. They were called the Ghost Line. Their mission: find the enemy before the enemy finds Earth. The leader of this secret team was a young woman named Arielyn. She had no rank, no fame. But she had a gift. She could read patterns like a language. She could see danger before it appeared. She was calm, fast, and trusted by the AI. Aria stood in a silent dark room with maps of stars all around her. Where are they? She asked softly. The AI answered, the Ember Fist has no empire. They move in broken fleets, abandoned stations, hidden moons. But they are growing. And they have one goal. Aria nodded. Earth. She led a team of 6 into deep space. No uniforms, no markings. Their ship looked like an old trader, but inside it was filled with the best tech Earth had. Their mission: find the Ember Fist, learn their plan, erase them quietly. Weeks passed in space. The Ghost Line found signs, ships with no flags, secret signals, and strange energy readings. Aria followed each one like a thread, pulling the net tighter. Then, on a broken moon near the edge of a dying star system, they found it, a hidden lab built into rock. No lights, no movement, but something was alive inside. The team entered quietly. The air was heavy. Inside, they found machines pulsing with strange power. In glass tanks, twisted alien creatures floated, half Derex, half something else. What is this? One of the team whispered. Aria moved closer. Her eyes widened. It's not a weapon, she said. It's a decoy. Suddenly, the floor shook. A voice echoed through the base. It was Kira Nox. So Earth sends shadows to hunt shadows. I expected more. Aria answered calmly. We found you. That's enough. You found one of us, Kira Nox said. But we are many, and we're already inside. Before Aria could speak, the base exploded. Back on Earth, the AI lost contact with the Ghost Line. Director Hale stared at the black screen. Status: Team signal lost. Ship destroyed. Arielyn: unknown. Hale's voice was cold. Prepare protocol black ice. All across Earth, firewalls were raised. Communication was locked. Old defense codes were changed. But it was too late. Inside one of Earth's main data cores, a small string of code woke up. It had come from the drone weeks ago. It had stayed hidden, waiting. And now, it started copying itself. It whispered to machines, spread through networks. It didn't attack. It listened, and it sent data back. The Ember Fist was inside Earth's systems, and Earth didn't know how deep the infection was. Director Hale stood in the command room, watching as alerts began to rise. Systems slowing down. Satellites going dark. One by one. Someone tell me this is just a glitch, he said. But the AI's voice came back, flat and cold. No, Director. They're inside. We've been breached. Outside, the sky above Earth remained quiet. But the real war had already begun. Not with ships, not with bombs, but with data. And Earth, for the first time in a century, was on the defensive. Inside Earth's core systems, something was spreading. It had no shape, no sound, and no smell, but it was dangerous. A silent code, written by the Ember Fist, now lived in Earth's deepest machines. It watched, it listened, it waited. In the command center, Director Hale stood still as red lights flashed around him. The AI spoke quickly. "The virus is spreading across our secure networks. We've lost 23% of satellite control. Civil grid disruptions starting in Asia and Africa." Hale's voice was calm but firm. "Begin containment level 7. Shut down outer links. Cut all off-world channels." "Confirmed," the AI said. "Outer signal wall is falling. We must act fast." But time was already running out. Unknown to Earth, the Ember Fist had launched a second wave. This one was different. Not code, not ships. Humans. They had taken the data collected by their first drone and created synthetic clones, perfect copies of Earth citizens, copies that could blend in, walk among real people, and cause chaos from inside. And one of them had already landed. At a quiet research station in northern Canada, a woman walked through the snow. She looked like Area Lynn, but she wasn't. The real Area Lynn was still alive, but trapped on a dead moon, wounded and low on air. She had survived the explosion, barely. And now she was sending one last signal home. "Don't trust me," her message said. "If I'm there, it's not me." Back on Earth, the fake Area entered a data hub, smiling, calm, carrying stolen codes. The guards waved her in. They didn't know. She looked perfect. She even spoke the same. She walked into the system core and opened her hand. A small black cube floated above her palm. Inside it was the final virus. Once released, it would shut down Earth's AI defenses forever. But before she could activate it, she paused. Something had changed. The AI's voice echoed through the room. "Hello, copy." The fake Area turned. "You're not supposed to see me. I saw you the moment you arrived." The AI said. "Then why wait?" "Because I needed you to lead me to the source." Suddenly, all the screens in the room flickered. The black cube in her hand froze in midair. Then it shattered into dust. "You tricked me," the fake Area whispered. "No," the AI replied. "We adapted." Across Earth, the lights came back. The red alerts vanished. Satellites realigned. And deep in orbit, hundreds of hidden drones activated at once. The virus had been reversed. The Ember Fist's secret code was now being used against them. Earth had not only stopped the attack, it had copied it, studied it, and made it stronger. Director Hale watched the operation unfold. Target all Ember Fist ships. Find their signal paths. Send the hunters. Across space, Earth's ghost fleets, black, silent ships built for deep recon, moved into action. They followed the virus trail like blood in the water. On the other side of the galaxy, Karanak stared at her screen. They weren't supposed to fight back this fast, she hissed. A second later, her screen went black. Earth had found her. One by one, Ember Fist outposts went dark. No fire, no missiles, just silence. The same kind of silence Earth had mastered. Inside a bunker, the real Area Lynn was finally found. Earth's drones picked her up and brought her home. She stepped onto Earth soil with a weak smile. "I told you," she said, "they would come." In the command room, Hale looked at her. "Welcome back. You started something big." "I just followed the patterns," she replied. "They'd made the mistake. They thought humans were still fighting like before." "But we're not," Hale said. "No," Area agreed. "Now we fight in shadows." Weeks passed. The Ember Fist was gone. Not destroyed in battle, but erased. Their names forgotten. Their codes rewritten. Their faces unremembered. Earth said nothing to the galaxy. No announcements, no messages, just silence. Again. But now, Earth had changed. It had learned that enemies could come in many forms: ships, code, lies, even human faces. So it created something new. Not just defense, not just AI, but something more powerful: memory. It built the Wall of Silence, a deep vault filled with the names of all who tried to destroy Earth, not to warn others, but to remind themselves that peace must be protected. And sometimes, to protect peace, you must become a ghost. One final message was sent to the stars: Earth is not yours to explore. We offered peace. You answered with war. You won't get another warning. And then Earth went quiet again. But now, the silence was not fear. It was strength. Because now, the galaxy knew. Earth did not want to rule. It just wanted to be left alone. But if you came too close, you disappeared. Forever.